meantime, illegal immigrants in California now one step closer to receiving state funds that they could use for a down payment on a home. Senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse reports. Hi, William.
Well, Martha, the bill just passed the state Senate. It now goes back to the Assembly, where Democrats have a supermajority, and aides tell me it is likely to pass. The bill makes illegal migrants eligible for $150,000 to buy a new home. Lawmakers created the program so citizens and legal residents could afford to live here. But last week, Democrats changed the law to say this: an applicant who meets requirements for the loan assistance program shall not be disqualified solely based on the applicant's immigration status.
The social and economic benefits of homeownership should be accessible to everyone, regardless of immigration status.
So the program provides first-time buyers with a zero-interest loan up to 20% of the home's purchase price. So that's up to $150,000 cash up front for a down payment and closing costs. This year, this $255 million program sold out in 11 hours, requiring a lottery. 18,000 applied, 2,000 got loans. And when a home sells, the state is repaid with a small percentage of any appreciation. The bill is sponsored by a prominent Latino rights group with close ties to Vice President Harris.
What the rest of the America needs to be worried about is the Kamala Harris-Walz administration taking these crazy California ideas and nationalizing them and taking them to the rest of the country. The country can't afford to buy illegal immigrants' homes.
Well, this bill does have a lot of Democratic support. The question is, does Governor Newsom sign it? If it passes, smart money in Sacramento tells me he does.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, unfortunately for the Californians, it is not a great and wonderful day, because everything that the Californians will do, everything that we hold dear in this state, which is honestly not a lot, let's be honest here, we don't hold a lot of things dear in this wretched state, is that we're going to be now giving undocumented immigrants their first home. Yeah, that's right. They're undocumented immigrants, their first home, and we're going to be talking about it today. Well, what we have here, my friends, is California bill would help undocumented immigrants buy their first home. A bill in the California legislature is causing a national controversy. It asks the question, should undocumented immigrants be allowed to get money from the state to help them buy their first home? California lawmakers have strong opinions on the matter. The California Dream for All program was launched in 2023. It allowed people to be qualified for up to $150,000 to buy their first home. The program ran out of money just days after it launched. Oh, wow, that's funny. The Democrats and Republicans are sounding off about the proposed additions to the program to allow everyone, regardless of immigration status, to apply for funding. AB 1840 was authored by Assemblymember Joe Juan Arambula, a Democrat. Senator Scott Wiener, San Francisco, presented the bill on the Senate floor Tuesday. This bill allows undocumented immigrants who have social security numbers or taxpayer identification numbers, meaning they are working and paying taxes in California, to be able to access down payment assistance programs, Wiener said. The California Dream for All program offers up to 20% down payment or up to $150,000. The bill would make it so eligible, applicants would not be turned down solely based on immigration status. Many of them have been living here for years or decades. They're raising families here. They've started businesses here. They're working, paying taxes. They're contributing to the community, and we shouldn't demonize them, Wiener said. Senator Brian Jones told ABC 10 this legislation is unfair to documented California and residents. It's not just allowing people to immigrate illegally to America, now we're encouraging them to immigrate illegally. Jones also takes issue with the first-time home buyer program itself. The Democrats created this problem here in California. Now, they want to find a solution by redirecting tax dollars from honest, hardworking, everyday Californians that are paying their taxes, and then redirect that money to people that they find somehow qualified for the buyer program, Jones said. With the session in its final week, the bill is headed back to the Assembly. If it passes, it'll go to the governor's desk to sign or veto. Senator Dave Cortez voted in favor of the bill and provided ABC 10 with this statement. Undocumented immigrants contribute millions of dollars into California's revenue base through income and sales tax and funding of dozens of public programs and services each year. Yet, when it counts most, they continue to be excluded and barred from accessing the very same programs or services they fund in the first place. And that is despite the courts and legislature deciding that anyone can access a public education, healthcare, vaccines, and other benefits regardless of one's immigration status. Ultimately, AB 1840 is about equity, inclusion, and ensuring discriminatory housing and lending policies and practices are a thing of the past. Our immigration system is a broken system, but we shouldn't force people out of housing while we wait on Congress to pass a just and humane immigration policy reform. So that's what we have here, guys. This is what we have here, to where California is now going to allow illegal undocumented immigrants, whichever you want to call them, and they'll be able to afford housing. And it goes up to $150,000. That's insane. That is completely ludicrous. What is going on here, guys? This is quite insane. Again, guys, how is California going to be a payoff for all this, by the way? Because now, as I said, this is going to incentivize undocumented immigrants to come to California, to illegally come here, and then they get to steal all the housing from the actual American citizens. And then on top of that, they also, for another thing too, they would also raise the pricing of housing, make it even more unaffordable to live here. And again, California is already doing a mass exodus here. There's already a mass exodus in California. If you want a bigger mass exodus, give illegal immigrants $150,000. Just give them $150,000. And I'm pretty sure that won't be used for other things, right? I think that won't be used for any other things. And then increase the housing of this of the state, and then every other person's going to be out on the street, just like the American people. It is quite insane, and we have a little bit more to go through here, where we have this individual, this person that's saying here that this is all insane. It's just not really catering to the citizens of California. And they don't even have the money to do this. As they said here, the program ran out of money just days after it launched. Days after it launched, guys. I don't know what else to tell you, but that's not a good thing.
Cannot make this up, guys. So today in the California State Senate, they passed the bill that would allow illegal aliens to receive 20% down payments on whatever house they want to buy. Now, this is being characterized as a home loan, but it's not actually a home loan. It's more like a grant because they don't actually have to pay back the loan. And then what's also crazy is, SCOTUS came out with their ruling on presidential immunity, and of course Donald Trump has been indicted once again in Washington, D.C. Make it make sense. The Democrat establishment is at work here, folks. They are on the grind. And when I say this, it's not actually satire, but the California Department of Finance came out and said, even though the Senate just passed this bill that gives illegal aliens free money, they don't actually have the money for this program. They haven't been given the money. So folks, they're going to establish a program that they don't have any money for. This is all nothing but virtue signaling. Democrats want to pretend to care about the democratic process through their indictment in Washington, D.C., and then here in Sacramento, they want to now expedite a bill. They have one more step to go. It has to go through the assembly to the governor to make it so that people who are newcomers, as they call them, can get better deals than us citizens. Isn't that amazing?
Yes, good sir, I find that absolutely fantastic, because obviously this is not going to increase the housing department or anything at all. This is not going to be hating on the American people. This is a constant thing that the Democrats do, and it's time for people to start waking up, because if this passes the bill, we're going to have a mass exodus. As I said before, there has been a mass exodus in terms of what's going on here in California, and the house pricing is already way too expensive as it is here, and the $68 billion deficit. So again, this is not looking like it's going too great here for, well, Californians, and I got a feeling that Gavin Newsom is going to sign this bill and make everything a lot worse for people in California. Well, be as it may, it is really just a downtrodden work of mess here, and I just can't stand it. I can't stand the state. I can't stand anything that they're doing. But, maybe people might wake up before it's too late. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.